you and me the victory. So watch this. So therefore now Esther is now in the palace and she's enjoying all of these amenities, and Mordecai says to Esther, listen Esther, we got a problem. Esther, we have a problem because there's a plot out to destroy all the Jews. Esther, God has put you in a position where you are close to the king. And so Esther, you need to go to the king and talk to the king about the Jews' plight. Well, Esther was comfortable where she was. And to tell you the truth, because of her position, Esther really did not see herself as a Jew no more. Uh-oh, I'm going to lose my man's right here. Esther no longer saw herself like the common folk no more. And I hope y'all are catching that, because a lot of us let the same thing happen to us. You see, sometimes when God elevates us and put us in positions that you and I would have never had before, and now you got a nameplate on your door, you have your own private line, you're not driving cars that you couldn't drive before, now you can live in a neighborhood that you never lived in before, and if you and I are not careful, we'll get to the point of understanding that God didn't give you that car just so that you can have a good ride. God didn't give you an education just so that you can brag about all your degrees. God didn't give you an income, Lord have mercy, just so you can use it on material things of this life. But God has positioned you because God wants to use you. And so Esther had forgotten who she was. Esther forgot that she was still God's child, and that God has plans for her life. And so therefore at first she was kind of cool toward Mordecai. And I watch this. She was cool, and she responds to Mordecai, and she said, Mordecai, listen, I don't want to get involved with that, because you do remember what happened to the last queen when she went to King Assyrius without being invited, don't you? You do know that Vashti is no longer queen because she got out of her place. And so Mordecai, I don't mean no harm to you, but I want to play it safe. I don't want to get involved with that. I do not want to take any chances, and I don't want to get involved. Let somebody else do delivering of the Jewish people. I've already made it for myself, and so I just don't have time to get involved with the plight of the people who are beneath me. For I just want to enjoy life at the plateau where God has placed me. But then Mordecai then has to tell her, listen Esther, you need to understand that God is going to deliver his people. And you need to understand that God didn't just put you in this position just to be doing. God has put you in this position, Esther, in order to use you to be the deliverer of the people. And Mordecai goes on to tell Esther, you need to be assured of this, Esther, that if you don't let God use you to deliver his people, that you and your people are going to be destroyed, and then God will somehow bring about deliverance from another place for you and your family. They're going to suffer. That's why, brothers and sisters, I'm going to stick a pinpoint again. You and I had better be careful talking about who the Lord can use, who the Lord can't use. You know, it's too many churches right now are causing folk to leave the churches because they are debating and they are fighting over issues that you really have no control over, because if God purposed it, you ain't got to do with it no how. But watch this. He tells her, he said, you ain't gonna make it. Esther, don't you think that just because you're in the palace that you are not going to suffer the plight of the rest of the Jewish people? For God has already situated and positioned you to be a blessing to the people. But then Mordecai raises this question to Esther that I believe all of us in here today need to ask ourselves. Now watch this. Now watch what the question is. Mordecai says, Esther, be open to this possibility that maybe the only reason why God has blessed you as he did was for such a time